So basically this video is for all those students who are residing outside India, means international students, but they want to do PhD from India and basically the Banaras Hindu University. It's like a dream come true for Indian students also, but this information will give you a solid, clear, crisp knowledge about the rules and regulation, how you can join a PhD from BHU if you are not in India. So I'll meet a student, I can say the student who have completed their PhD, he's not from India, so he will share you each and every information. So this information is very unique and somewhat different compared to the other information which I generally share basically for the India only. So I would like to introduce Mr. Subhash, or I can say a Dr. Subhash, because he is not from India, he's from the Nepal, and Subhash has just completed their PhD, submitted their thesis in Banaras Hindu University. He's from the Nepal, so he will going to share each and every information which an international student want, because it's very difficult to come in other country and continue their studies. So welcome Subhash, and first of all congratulations that you have successfully submitted your thesis in BHU. So my first question for you is like, how you have planned to come India, because it's very difficult for the Indian students also that to choose a university like BHU and to choose a guide and to execute their studies. So how come from Nepal you come there, and what what was the motto behind that?
Okay. Welcome, Dr. Mayank sir. And from the medium of this blog, whosoever would be watching this, I would also want to welcome all those aspiring and PhD aspiring students and the well-wisher of the BHU. I am Subhash Lal Karn. I just completed, as sir said, I have submitted my thesis in microbiology, Institute of Medical Sciences. I come from Nepal. I belong from Nepal. And it's not that I just came out of blue and then heard about the BHU. The BHU is a well-known name in Nepal, because in Nepal, the formative leaders of the democracy, they were from the alma mater of them was a BHU. So BHU in Nepal is a very well-known name, and it's a proud privilege to get enrolled in a BHU, and for Nepalese also. So it's equally premier institute in Nepal as well. So I got admission in a BHU through the foreign quota. We need not to get appear in any of the entrance test, that we come under the exemption quota.
Okay.
And there are the separate criteria, eligibility criteria for that. Like I'll just name some.
Yeah, sure. It is very important because everyone wants to know what is the eligibility criteria first.
The first thing is the candidate should not be the Indian. So
Okay.
that quota does not implies for the Indian.
Okay.
Because the Indian has to go through that, which is there, the national eligibility test, or the BHU conduct a separate test called as a RET.
Okay.
But we, the international student, comes under the rate exempted criteria. So for us, the criteria is the one has to be eligible to go for the PhD in his own countries.
Okay.
First thing. The second thing is should get the NOC from both the embassy, the particular embassy in the India, and then Indian embassy in Nepal. So
Okay.
the NOC from these two countries, and has to have the English proficiency language test score. Like it could be of the TOEFL or it could be of the IELTS. So minimum 6 band in IELTS is there. So I got 7.5 IELTS while I was appearing for the IELTS.
So that examination is in Nepal.
That can be anywhere. So the IELTS is
Okay.
internationally.
So that
recommended.
score
Yes.
is essential.
Yes, it is must. It is
Okay.
must.
Okay. Fine.
So one is the NOC, other is the English proficiency language.
Okay.
That examination score one has to have, and then at least the minimum 3 years of working experience. And
Post graduation,
yes,
after post graduation.
yes, sir.
Okay.
And then the 2 publication in an international journal.
Oh.
So these were the criterias for any international student who aspired to get enrolled in a PhD in BHU, and provided these, if one fulfills all these criteria, he can apply, and I mean he can go for the application, and then the subject of approval, it is under the recommendation of the department, what the DRC says. I mean, if the DRC give the consent, then the further the candidate will be informed for the provisional admission and all.
Okay.
So this is the criteria, sir. I mean, it sounds lengthy, but it's not that.
Tough.
Yes.
Right.
And to me, this is the home outside the home.
Correct.
I never felt that I am in outside of the country. The hospitality which I receive from the faculties, from the scientists, and from the friend circle which I have cannot be expressed in word and adjective. I know, and not even a single moment I felt that I am in out of the country. I feel this is my country too, and some part of my making is the BHU as well. So
That's good.
BHU
Okay.
is even a part of my life.
Okay.
And
That's
I
good.
would, through the platform which sir has created, a wonderful platform, I would like to welcome all our viewers to the grandeur hostel which you can see in the background. This is our international hostel.
Okay.
And in fact, this is a boys' hostel. We have a similar building dedicated for the girls. There is international girls' hostel.
Okay.
And this very amenable environment. You can see there is a grandeur garden situated, I mean, inside the premises of this hostel. Our hostel building itself is one of the premier building inside
Correct.
the BHU.
Okay.
And this is something which BHU would like to show us.
Okay. Next, I just want to know, because as you have shared very useful information about the NOC and like the second is what? NOC and
English
that's English.
proficiency. English
Okay,
proficiency.
fine. If any international student is having all both these things, then what will be the next challenge for that student, for international student, to get inside the BHU for the registration? Means he or she will fill the form. Then
Yes, sir.
what will be the next challenge for them?
Yes, sir. Like one can fill the form by physically coming.
Correct.
There is an entrance center inside the BHU.
Mm-hmm.
So, or else one can even submit the form at the Indian Embassy situated in their own countries.
Okay.
So, in either way, one can apply for the PhD by coming directly physically over here, or through the embassy in their own countries.
Okay. So
But
then,
these are the criteria which has to be fulfilled to get admission.
so you no need to come physically in the university when you are applying the form.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There only you have to
Yes,
apply
sir.
the form.
There is a certain charges. It comes around in Indian currencies or 3,000 plus.
The application fees.
Yes, sir.
Right. So after that, the selection process will be there from the embassy point, or the university will decide like the profile will be selected or not.
Okay. Sir, there are 2 ways by which the entrance student can get enrolled in a BHU. One is they either come through the scholarship scheme called as ICCR, Indian Council of Cultural Research.
Okay.
So there they would be getting the certain amount of as a stipend.
Okay.
There's something 25,000 for the PhD,
Okay.
or 18,000 plus for the masters and bachelor students. So that is the one. But sir, in IMS, there is no scheme in IMS that does
Okay.
not apply to the IMS. In IMS, they don't say through the ICCR. The PhD is not there. But for MBBS, every country has been allotted the separate quotas. And the country which has a good relationship with India.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we were the one among that. I can
Okay,
claim.
that's good. So they'll get a
So either through
25,000.
the ICCR
Uh-huh.
or through the one can even come through self-finance as I did.
Okay, self-finance
Yes.
means the university won't give you any.
Yes, but now they have started from the last 6-7 months back.
Uh-huh.
That those who are not getting any kind of a these supporting money,
Uh-huh.
the university would be giving 8,000 per month.
Okay, by default they will give you.
Yes.
Just as a similar like the non-net or net student,
Yes,
they won't
so-
have the JRF.
So in a Banaras, as you can find out from the other source also, this is a very cheap to stay.
Okay,
So the 8,000 is very much enough
okay.
for those who
Yeah.
can, I mean, who want to lead a student life and something else, not
Correct.
that luxurious, but it's okay.
Okay. So all the student will get this wonderful international hostel?
Yes, sir. I mean, it too is a
Approximate-
subject for the its
Depend,
availability, but almost all of the students
Will get the hostel.
Yeah,
And what are the charges for that?
sir, there is a double occupancy and single occupancy. But since now the double occupancy has been made mandatory, not only for these hostels, for entire.
Okay.
Earlier we were spared with this rule because they were concerning we as a senior student.
Okay.
But since the number of the student has been increased significantly over the last 2 years because of the initiation by our
Vice
Vice
Chancellor.
Chancellor
Correct.
to internationalize this student and to increase this number of international student. So every international student is only being able to get the room in a double occupancy, and that comes around 4,000 per month.
Okay. Including
Yes.
fooding.
No, sir. And this hostel is unique in a way that every room is equipped
Well
with the
equipped.
modular kitchen,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
say. So, and moreover, this is an international student, so the feeding habit of one differs from the others.
Okay.
So it would be unjust to say like that same kind of food would be applicable to all.
Correct.
So one is free to cook on his way.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, my next question is like when you registered finally after just crossing all these barriers,
Okay.
one as international student will get a registration under some supervisor. Then is there any the course fees which you have to pay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, if one comes through the ICCR, then one does not have to pay anything. That
Okay.
the entire expenses will be bought by the embassy.
Okay,
the
no
Indian
course
government.
fees.
But if one get the admission through the
Self-finance,
self-finance,
yeah.
then apart from the university fee, which is very nominal, that
Uh-huh.
comes around 4,000-5,000 a
Yes.
year. There is additional charge, and that too is different for the different institute. Like it is 1 lakh in Indian currency for the IMS.
Mm-hmm.
It's around 60,000 for the Faculty of Science
Okay.
and 80,000 for the law and 40,000 for the others.
Okay. So
It
this
depends
is
on the faculty to faculty, and this is called as additional charge.
so this is for all the international students.
No, those who take the admission on a self-finance.
Self in under self-finance category, they have to pay,
Yeah.
irrespective of their country.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is yearly charge.
Yes, sir. This additional charge.
And what is the minimum duration in which a student can complete their research work?
Sir, we have a PhD that says that the minimum duration of a PhD residency is 3 years.
Okay.
So it entirely depends on the candidate. If
Okay.
he
So minimum
wills,
is 3 years.
3 years.
Okay. If it will be extended, it can be extended.
Yes, depending on the
The
nature of the
research work.
research, approval of the DRC,
Okay.
and if the candidate is not that serious enough,
So it will
it
take
can
time,
even
definitely.
go up to 4-5,
4-5 years.
and not beyond 7 because 7 is the last one.
Okay. So you have successfully completed your PhD in how many years?
Within a 3 years.
Within 3 years. That's great. So what hurdles do you face during this 3 years in your PhD? Because you are in like you are not in your home country.
Yeah.
So apart from that hurdle, what academic hurdles you'll have to face just in order to complete their thesis?
Sir, I mean, that would be unjust to say that I have faced the hurdles because for me, I mean, living a life of a PhD was dream coming true because I always aspired to be a PhD scholar. I mean, I wanted to go for the higher education, and there was a time in my life where I was stuck with the job, with the postgraduate, and had almost accepted that will not be able to pass on this barrier. So for me, the one which I got in a PhD was not the hurdle, was a gift or boon in fact for me because
Okay,
I
nice.
learned a lot of research skills like the coursework which we have to go through will is mostly that syllabus is focused on the research skill, the laboratory skills, the scientific writing. And though I was sensitized with these things, but had not, my skill was not that honed. So I've refined my skills, had
That's good.
developed the passion for the research,
Great.
and have realized that research is worth of living, and it can be made a worth of joy, full
Good.
thing, sir. So there had been the more realization than any hurdle.
Okay.
So if
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's very good.
to be telling you
Okay.
frankly.
Okay. There is a question in my mind. Like, student from different countries doing their PhD from India, from BHU. So, what will be the regulatory hurdles which you face when you will go back to your country and like apply for some positions or like that? So, is that acceptable because you are getting the degree from UGC guidelines,
Yeah,
correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
are UGC acceptable in different countries?
Sir, I mean, there is a provision for that. Like, whosoever is getting the degree from the out of the country had to get the degree equivalence.
Okay.
So we have a one board in Nepal that applies for anybody who gets a degree from out of the countries,
Okay.
and had to get the degree equivalence.
Oh.
And since the BHU is a well recognized one, so there won't be the problem. In fact, the one who sees the degree of a BHU, I mean, gives a positive responses of that.
Okay. That's good. So, after all, I can say at last what you will suggest for international students, because there are a very good university, not in India, I can say, but if the students are living in various part of the country and want to come in India, so there is always a threat in a mind like, should I go to the India and stay for 3-4 years? Is it like feasible, or so? What's your experience and what do you like prefer? Those who are watching this video, mostly the international students.
See, so that innovation could be for those who haven't felt these foreign education by first handed. But I can assure that the BHU is the place which, apart from your, I mean, adding the research skills and academic laurels and all, it also gives you a lot of, the build of the personal communication, the personal network. Like here in our hostel, there are the students from the 28 different countries.
Oh.
And believe me, I mean, though we differ in the skin color, though we differ in our feeding habits, but I mean, we live as a family. So that is a rare opportunity you get anywhere in the world. And as a BHU, NIRF ranking is a third, I guess, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So
fourth.
BHU comes under the top 10 university in India. And in as if the last year, there were 80 scientists from the BHU who came under the world top
Ranking,
the
correct.
Stanford University
Yes.
list. So getting the admission in a BHU itself is a very privileged thing somehow, sir.
Correct.
So I mean, there won't be the innovation, and there's worth of living, and the perks are more. And of course, the entire world has become like a village. So we cannot say that
This place
going
is
out
good.
of the country is something we'll face.
Good or bad? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I had gained a much, many I cannot express in the words by coming in India, because I did my master's from India only in Bangalore. That was a South India, and this time entirely different. Not, but this time I felt the more attached with my own countries, because the lifestyle is much more similar, and the people are more hospitable, more friendly.
That's good. So overall, thank you so much, Subhash. And Subhash, you are leaving like tomorrow, so it's like we'll definitely miss you, because your part, I have a very good experience with Subhash, and we all, the whole department, learned a lot. Seriously, we all will going to miss you. So finally, I can say I wish you a good luck, because you are going to your country and start your future journey. You have already started a job, so that's very good. And wish you a good luck. luck and a happy journey. And thank you so much for sharing your experience for all the international students on my platform. So thank you so much again. I wish you all the best for your future.
Thank you, sir. We'll have
Sure. We'll have a short look because the campus is seriously. So just give a short brief.
So these are hostel, and you can see there is one octopus the statue in the garden.
Oh,
The garden is a very beautiful garden. You have the serenity, the freshness will come up in the morning.
yeah. Because
So this gives you a feeling that you are staying very near to the nature. That is the boon of living inside the BHU, and that it becomes doubled when you're inside the international hostel.
yeah, it's
This garden.
correct.